People are finally giving Wale his flowers. Wale's recent album, Everything Is a Lot, is an instant classic, and some are saying it's arguably his best album, and that is saying a lot considering that Wale's discography is one of the most consistent discographies within his generation. Wale does not miss, and Everything Is a Lot is the perfect way to describe this album. It's a lot of hits on this album. Everything on this album is a hit, and I'm happy to see that people are receiving this album well, because from the moment I turned it on live until today, I started listening to it on Friday. It's Monday now. It has grown on me so hard that at first I was saying, man, it's a little recency bias that people are saying it's his top 2 best projects. But now the more I listen, it can definitely be his best project. Now, there has been a history of Wale not getting his credit. And as I was making my most recent video, Black Spaces, how white people dominate black spaces, I really thought about Wale and his time in hip hop. Wale is a very black artist. Wale uses a lot of go-go, a lot of African instrumentation. He uses real instruments. He's very jazzy. He's very bluesy. He's very soulful. And for a long time, hip-hop has ran away from that. Hip-hop lost its core, which is black music, rock and roll, R&B, blues, jazz. And so it makes sense as the sound as hip-hop has changed to more 808 trap sounding beats that people will not give Wale as much credit as he deserves. And I will highly suggest going through his discography. He is amazing. And even with this album, a lot of people, they wanted more of the MMG Wale. They wanted more of the Maybach Music Group Wale. They wanted more of the rapping Wale. And Wale doesn't really give you that here. He gives you a lot of introspective. He gives you a lot of R&B flips. He got Belly, where he uses the Back to Life sample. He uses a Pretty Wings sample that he flips. Amazing. Him and Leon Thomas flip Closer to My Dreams on Watching Us. One of the best standout songs on this album. He really gets into his black music bag, and I feel as though people have been running away from that for years, and he's getting his flowers because people miss that. There's a certain artist out there that I want to compare him to, but I don't want to really compare him to because he deserves to just stand alone by himself. But Wale is the artist that everybody thinks Drake is. Wale's ear for music is one of the best, and people always want to go back to his MMG because people love the trap 808s. But the best Wale is when he got away from MMG. The album About Nothing, Shine, Wow, That's Crazy, Florin 2. Wale is not the MMG artist that people think he is. He's not Ambition. He's more gifted. If we're going to that time in Wale's career where he was really heavy into MMG, if you go listen to a lot of those MMG compilation albums, some of the best songs with him and Omarion. This Thing of Ours, MIA, Diced Pineapples, right? If you listen to what Wale did really well during that time, it was the more R&B melodic records. And so I feel as though Everything a Lot is Wale finally figuring it out and not trying to please everybody and just doing something for himself. And so I really like this album. A lot of the fans that like Wale for his Maybach Music era will probably love Michael Fredo. That might be the best song for them off this album because it's a real hard, almost trappy Lex Luger sounding beat. It's real hard, real, bass heavy, something that they probably gonna like. And let's just stay here real quick for 1 second because I believe this Michael Fredo song is gonna give people the most deep dive. It is a weird flip because Michael, it kills Fredo, which is his brother, because his brother betrayed him. Also, Michael Fredo is a singer who favors Michael Jackson, so he always says too many Fredos thinking they Michael. So I've had people text me and say, is this about so-and-so? Is this about so-and-so? I do think that this album does have a couple of jabs at J. Cole because I feel as though the same thing J. Cole did to Kendrick, he also has done to Wale, where it seems like he's a friend and they texting and they cool, but then he jumps on and takes it personal and starts dissing him. You get what I'm saying? We could always go back to the False Prophet songs. We can go back to Groundhog Day. I still to this day believe that Wale got the best of him. He said, I wonder which side of my biracial friends call me they nigga. I thought that was a neutralizing bar to J. Cole and to a Drake. I don't want this to be about that, but there is some deep dive here and it can be looked out here. It says too many gatekeepers feeling entitled. Know that Doug Davis, my Tommy Egan. I'm afraid this how villains are made. He also talks about fuck hunger strikes. I ain't feeding their egos. God got me, so what could stop me? Maybe a white wife and the paparazzi. Look, she was light-skinned and I liked her, but them online comments made a toxic environment. A lot of faking, a lot of biting, a lot of gatekeepers feel entitled. So it's a lot here. It's the track that sounds the most different comparison to all the other tracks on the album. And so since I've been hit up multiple times, I feel as though this has a little bit of depth here. I know it's family that'll snake you. Losing my sanity while I'm trying to cope. Either way is dark and I'm all alone on my sunny days. That was my bros. Niggas lie on my name to stay afloat. It's too many Fredos and not enough boats. So there's something here. And I think we got a glimpse of who J. Cole really is. On Mirror on the Benz, he says, they tried to bite my style. They walked away with crooked teeth. They tried to bite my style and ended up with the crooked smile. Could have worked well, but he just changed it to crooked teeth. So it's something there. It's something there. But I don't really care about all of that beef. But there's something there on that Michael Fredo. Maybe somebody else can break it down. But, some people think it may be about Drake. Some people think it's about Kendrick. Some people say it's about Cole. I personally think he kind of took low-key jabs at Cole and Drake just a little bit. That's just me personally, but I definitely hear the Cole stuff there, but that's for you to decide. Thing that you were looking for some sexy songs for you, Wale gave that to you. This is something on this album for everybody. But like I said, I feel as though Wale hasn't gotten his flowers because he's a very black artist. He has a song on Wild That's Crazy called Sue Me. Sue Me, I'm rooting for everybody that's black. He has a song called Black Girl Magic that's really amazing. As hip-hop has moved away from its soul, as it moves away from its R&B influence and core, Wale didn't get the credit he deserved. But as people are waking up, or as people are looking for that vibe that a certain somebody didn't give, Wale's getting all of that. And Everything a Lot is that and more. I am super excited for people to listen to this album. It's extremely introspective. It's extremely deep. Wale is vulnerable. Whoever hurt this man, well, it sound like his baby mama. Whoever hurt this man gave him the perfect inspiration for this project. Amazing. It's such a vibe. And Wale's really good at making good sounding music, but if you actually listen to the lyrics and you pull the layers back, it ain't really good. It's problems. It's issues. This is the blues. Wale gives you the blues. And I think that's the best way to describe this. As hip hop has gotten so much into his braggadocio space and I'm rich and it's an F a chick and F of that and I got money and nothing hurts me and I'm a king and I'm really like hip hop for the last few years has gotten really like I'm this, I'm that, and it hasn't really been introspective. Wale's very bluesy. He's giving you he's leaving it all out on the table. He's open. He's wearing his heart on his sleeve and he's being honest. For me, a little bit of me feels as though this is the best part. Like this is the best part of hip hop. This is authenticity, is honesty, is vulnerability. And that's what this album is. The best way I can describe it is blues. And hip hop has ran away from that. Everybody's the biggest and the largest, and they're not really being open and honest. And it's you hear it here and there, but that's maybe Wale's biggest critique is that he's overly open and overly vulnerable, and almost comes off as corny and woe is me. But this is the best part of this album, is that it's the blues, man. That's the best way I can describe it. And I feel as though Wale's talking about a lot here. He's talking about him fighting the industry. It's a lot in this project that may go over your head if you aren't really listening, because to be honest with you, this is really good sounding music. I'm a huge fan of the hip hop and R&B sound. Like, to me, that's a perfect album when an artist can give me a good, like Luther is one of my favorite songs by Kendrick. Loyalty, 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 love you. I love those songs because it's the perfect blend of what I like. I'm an R&B head. I'm not gonna lie. I grew up in the 90s. My name is after a Jodeci member. I'm named after the most popular Jodeci member, the one that wrote all the music and one that wrote all the hits. So I grew up with them black oldies. I grew up with Aretha Franklin, Patti LaBelle. I grew up with Joe and Donnell Jones. I grew up with those guys. But then, of course, I grew up with the 50 Cents. I grew up with the Nas, the Tupacs, the Biggies, right? But Wale, he gives me that perfect blend of that. Like, some of the best songs out of all of our favorite artists are the times when they blend hip hop and R&B. I love a hip hop and R&B feature, but he didn't bang it over your head. It wasn't like he was singing on every song, but every song is melodic, and he finds a way to do it without it coming off like an Usher album, without it coming off like an R&B album. And his singing isn't as bad as, let's say, a Party Next Door or a Drake, right? I'll be honest with you. I get it sometimes because, like, Wale's not the best singer. It's just his voice sounds really well when he stretches it out. Like, it's not auto-tuned. I feel with a bunch of auto-tune and a bunch of He's not doing that, but it's very melodic. It's very smooth. This passes the car test with flying colors. I think the best way to listen to this album is on a very good spring-like day. You can roll the windows down and you can vibe. Maybe you and wifey going to, get a little, going to get lit. This is the perfect album, man. 18 songs, all 18 songs are non-skippable. Now, depending on if you like Afrobeats or not, you might skip 2 songs. There's a song called Big Head and there's a song called YSF that leans very heavy into Afrobeats. And from what I see online, that may be the people's least 2 favorite songs, but for me, YSF and Big Head, I love them. Big Head has more of like a Bollywood type vibe, but like it's really good. They come in a big head, like it's very African, and I think that is Wale's biggest issue, is that he has instruments on his thing. He's very black. It's not trappy. It's not boom bappy. It's almost poppy. Like if you really listen to this is very like poppy. This is very top 40. This is very like, I could see a lot of these songs. I could see a song like Big Head being on a movie. You get what I'm saying? Wale is an amazing writer. Him and Leon Thomas on Watching Us are like Shaq and Kobe. They flip Closer to My Dreams. They flip that. He flips Pretty Wings on a song called Fly Away, which is one of my favorites. I can't even tell you what my favorite. I know my favorite song is Tomorrow Today, Corner Bottles, Fly Away, City on Fire, Power and Problems, Where to Start. I'm putting together my top 25 favorite songs of 2025, and I'm not gonna lie to you, Where to Start might be my number 1. You are so fine, you blow my mind with the things you do to me. Yo, crazy. The SWV flip is phenomenal. He fixed back to life, back to in the belly of the. If you love the 90s samples, the sample heavy era of the 90s, you're gonna love this album. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Wale is the best at putting R&B and hip hop together. Like I said, he's rapping on here. If you really listen to some of the bars and what he's actually saying, he's really rapping. It may go over your head because Wale does not have a delivery or a flow that's like simple. It's very, I wouldn't say complex, but it's a little bit more on the Kendrick side of rapping than it is, let's say, on the Drake or J. Cole side of the rapping, where you really don't have to dig that deep into their bars. It's like playing to you. Wale makes it a little bit more deep, and you got to go find it. They swear we all brothers like I'm Bison Dele. Like, you may not understand that unless you Google it. You know what I'm saying? So very, very dope album on here. Like I said, Where to Start might be my favorite song of the year. And this album is easily in my top 5 albums of this year. It is going to have to fight with Starline and Let God Sort Them Out for my favorite album. It already surpassed God Does Like Ugly, because the things that I loved on God Does Like Ugly is the more melodic songs like Wholeheartedly, Nobu, Skate. Wale does that times 10. And so I really highly suggest this. Mirror Mirror on the Bend. He's talking about, the problem of him always responding to people online. And I think that's the biggest, outside of like, I feel like the industry not being as hip hop black heavy as it should be. I think that a lot of people say that, he comes off as corny. He comes off as a woe is me type of guy, always lashing out on people, always responding to negativity. And that's just, he's passionate, man. As I've been listening to him, I understand why, because I feel angry for him. I feel upset that he don't get as much credit and as much love as he deserves. So I can imagine it if I was him. And he's a passionate person. He was a football player. He mentions that on Mirror Mirror on the Bends. He has anxiety issues. So he pays attention to everything. And maybe that's what forced him to make such an amazing project. I see nothing but love and people giving him his flowers online. So I just want to highly suggest this. Wale, Everything a Lot is a classic, but people hate black music. Point blank period. Talking to my friend Dog Ninja now on Twitter, and his biggest thing is that he wanted more of the MMG ambition Wale. And from what I've seen Wale talk about, is that was his most hated time. That was the most time he hated his music and himself, and he wasn't really doing what he wanted to do. So make sure y'all give Wale a spin. Make sure y'all give Wale a listen, man. I'm a big fan, huge fan. I'm always going to sing his praises. He has one of the best discographies in his generation, man. He's up there with me with Kendrick. He's up there with me with Cole. He's up there with me with Drizzy. Honestly, I put him past Cole. His music has grown on me way more than Cole's music. I kind of grew off of Cole's music, and I'm starting to see he isn't as good. Like, J. Cole's had a hard time in the industry. Wale can make a track for radio all the time. J. Cole has had a hard time making music for the radio. That's why you don't hear that many J. Cole songs radio, and even him himself hates when he does it. Wale does it effortlessly. Yes, he relies heavily on the R&B feature, but there's plenty of songs on here where he doesn't rely on the R&B feature. Tomorrow Today is my favorite song, and that's just him. And I think that's one of the best songs on this album. Again, this is an amazing project. Wale's discography is slept on. Stop sleeping on Wale. Give him his flowers. I almost got him to come into my live the other day, but I kind of dropped the ball. I didn't drop the ball. It was just a mistake. And maybe one day in the future we can chill out and have a conversation. He followed me on Twitter. We kind of converse here and there. So I just want to give Wale his flowers while he can still smell them. He's one of those ones, man. And Everything a Lot just proves what I've been saying about Wale for years. He is one of those ones, and he does it effortlessly. Def Jam, you got to get right. You got to find a way to promote this even better. You got to big this up.
Hey, Def Jam, you really dropped the fucking ball. I just want to tell you again, while the Clips are nominated for all these Grammys and Wale got all of these records on it, no way he's at Def Jam playing some of these.
And I'm hearing this album like, bro,
y'all missed it.
Y'all didn't hear the rest of this album.
Yeah, y'all.
I love Blanco.
And y'all don't know Wale.
And that's why I'm like,
right.
There's no way y'all heard this album and said, these are the singles.
There's no way y'all ever heard any Wale album.
This project is amazing, and I'm happy that from what I see online, Wale is getting his flowers, man. Everything is a lot out right now. Make sure you go cop that. Wale dropped a banger, bro. He dropped an instant classic. Is it his best? I don't know, man. I'm gonna give it another day or two. I'm gonna give it a couple of more days. I'm gonna give it a month or so, and it definitely might be, man. From the fashion, he's a very important figure in the culture when it comes to fashion. If he put on a sneaker and he put a fly outfit together, the sales go up. He did that with the AE1s. He got a Nike boot right now. He had a phone posit that was only released in the DMV. So he's starting to get his flowers, and he's starting to get his love and his credit now. And so even though I'm upset it took this long in his career for people to understand and for people to see, I'm happy it's happening. And hopefully people can go back and listen to his discography and see how amazing he is. What say you? The conversation continues with you in the comment section. Please help me defeat the algorithms by commenting, subscribing, ringing the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I release a video. Donate to this Cash App, Super Chats, join to be a member. Anything, any little support, any big support is appreciated. I appreciate you for being here. What is your favorite song on Everything Is a Lot? What are you listening to? Are you rocking with? Are you a Wale fan? Let me know in the comment section. Reedmysole out. Peace.